Welcome to the GigSalad Greenroom interviews, where we have our very first ever repeat guest, Mr. Jim O'Hare.
Yeah! I had to do my own sound effects. Yeah.
That was good.
That's me with the big crowd.
Can we just record that and play it for every interview?
That's how I live my life. Every time I enter a room.
I used to have a laughing app that I played after my own jokes.
Nice.
That was great.
I like it.
We need to invest in one of those for the show.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me as your
Yeah.
first repeat
Yeah,
guest.
it's
That's
good
awesome.
to see you in person.
I didn't know that was the case.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jim did an audio podcast with us that, if you haven't heard it, go back and listen to it. It's fantastic, but this is the first time we've actually had you physically in the green room.
I love it.
So
good
happy
green
to have
room,
you here.
good offices, good everything. Yeah, they gave me lots of booze, lots of drugs. So yeah, we're good. This isn't live yet, though, right? We're not.
Oh, no, it is.
Oh,
yeah.
check it out.
There's
man.
been no
Text.
booze.
We're
No
going.
booze, no drugs. No, I did not shoot heroin in the last 10 minutes. No,
No,
I did not.
It's going to be a
I
fun
promise
interview.
you I did not. I did not.
So, all that aside, can you get everybody up to speed? In case they're not familiar with your career, I have no idea why they wouldn't be, but just in case, on the off chance they're not familiar
There could
with
be
your
one
work.
or two. Maybe they were fighting for our country in another, part of the world, and they don't know who I am.
Held
So
in a
we should
basement
let them
by a
know too.
kidnapper.
Yeah. No, I'm mostly known from a show called Parks and Recreation. We did it on NBC. I was in 125 of the 125.
Nice.
Yeah, only me, Amy, Nick, and wow, I don't know about Aubrey, but I don't think so. I think we're the only ones who were in every episode. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the case.
Awesome. Do you ever?
Which means we're better than everybody else.
Yeah.
That's all
That's
it
the
means.
point. That's the
very
main point.
simple. Very simple. Or we had no other offers. That's all. We had the time.
Can we just stay here? Do you ever slip up and call them by their character names?
Not in real life, but on the show, my character was Jerry Gergich, and as the years went on, they kept changing my name on the show,
Yeah.
and it did get confusing for the cast because for a couple of solid seasons I was Jerry, and then all of a sudden it was Garry, and then it was Larry, Terry, and then Barry. So we would, literally scenes would have cut. He called them Jerry or Larry, but now it's Barry or Terry or whatever. So that happened a lot. But no, I don't call them. No, in real life, I'm pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real life.
So how would you describe Jerry, Garry, Larry, Terry, Barry in your own words? What's that character like?
Jerry Larry Terry Barry Gergich is kind of the nicest man in the world. He does not like to cause trouble. He is not a fighter. He is a family man, incredibly devoted to his family. And as much as he got a bunch of crap at work for, really no reason, he was the punching bag. Jerry didn't care because Jerry's main purpose in life was his wife and his 3 beautiful daughters. And so that's what mattered. It wasn't about what happened before 5 o'clock. It's about what happened after when he got home with his family. Though he was also incredibly loyal to his coworkers and helped them whenever he could. But he's ultimately a really, really good guy who I always think Jerry knew. There's an episode kind of where it's where he's mugged, supposedly. And at the end, Jerry talks to the camera and he says, because they're teasing behind him and stuff, and he's like, "That's okay. I'm going to retire. I'm going to go into a cabin with my mystery books and my wife, and we're gonna, he got it. He knew what it was. But a very simple, sweet, wonderful man. That's very unlike Jim O'Hare.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
so your background is sort of dark comedy, right?
Yeah, I love dark comedy, and I'm also I can easily go blue, as they say in my comedy, and I've talked to different colleges here and there, and the kids come up afterward and they'll be like, "Wow, that was so good, whatever. I didn't realize you were so dirty." I'm Jim O'Hare. That's Jerry on the television. So yeah, I love dark comedy. I did a film called Middleman, and it couldn't be darker, and I love that, and I love playing that. And yet I also love a Jerry character.
Yeah.
We're actors. The tough part about Hollywood or whatever is you get labeled kind of. So I'm the big funny wacky, neighbory kind of guy. And it's cool. It's paid my bills for a lot of years before Parks, and that's all great. And then Jerry, of course, you're Jerry. So then it's, I remember there was a role I was up for, and the director called the writer and said, listen, what about Jim O'Hare? I heard this afterward. And he said, oh, Jerry, no, he's too nice for this role. And then they sent him a couple clips of me doing other stuff, and he's like, oh, he's perfect for this role. So, but people immediately, they have it in your head who you are. And so that's just the battle. I think I'll always fight that battle of, I'm an actor, I can do bad stuff. I can play bad people, I can play good people, I can hopefully do it all,
And that's what's funny too, is that the first time I saw you in a role that was not
non-pornographic, because I had that career before, as we all know. I'm sure everybody knows. Yeah.
What was your name?
The Humper. I was known as the Humper. Big fan base. Yes.
Yeah, but
so before you're saying after that.
One of your actual airtime TV roles.
Yes.
No, the first time I saw you playing a role that wasn't Jerry, it was almost shocking. It was great because...
Do you remember what it was?
You have that... I think it was Middleman, actually.
Well,
which is so far polar opposite.
Yeah, and it's funny because Middleman kind of begins Jerry-esque. It's a sweet man whose mother dies, and it's sad, and he's going to go off on this journey. And then there's a twist... and it all changes. And I love getting to play that. I did a lot of years ago, you guys are way too young to know this show called Diagnosis Murder.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Dick Van Dyke was the lead, and I'm like I bow down to that man. He's a genius. And I got to play a serial killer.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so dramatic, and so this and so that. And I thought, oh, finally, I'll break that mold. And they'll see that I can... Like, we're going to break the comedy mold. And not that I ever want to leave the comedy mold. I love comedy. I love watching comedies. I love being in comedies. But still, so it does well. It's well received. It's still tough to get me into dramatic roles. So, again, it will always be a battle. That'll be my battle. Though, some people have said to me, are you concerned that you'll be Jerry? You'll always just be known as Jerry. Well, a couple thoughts. If that were to happen, that's an honor. If people are yelling "damn it, Jerry" to me for the next, I'll probably live another 6 or 7 hours. If that happens, that's just fine because it's an honor. Things are different now. Like in the old days when you were at Gilligan on Gilligan's Island, it was tough to break away from that. But now there's so many venues and avenues to do your thing. And thankfully, since Parks has wrapped, I've done so many different things, and so I don't think I've been stuck in that mold, so I'm happy about that. But again, I've had people just literally drive by and go, "Thanks for ruining the Harvest Festival, Jerry."
Oh my gosh.
That was 2 years ago. But I don't care. It's all out of love, and people are awesome.
So speaking of which, you've added a new character to the roster, Cal from Logan Lucky.
Yes, Logan Lucky.
Yeah, what was it like on the set there?
Well, it was my dear friends, Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, Daniel J. Craig, Hilary Swank, Seth MacFarlane, Katherine Heigl, whatever.
Big deal.
Some D-listers, as I call them.
Yeah, extras.
Extras, and then Jim O'Hare. No, it was crazy, and I literally it was directed by Steven Soderbergh, who, wow, for anyone who follows film and stuff, that's pretty awesome. So when I got the gig, I was, of course, crazy excited. I had auditioned. The thing about Parks also, I get offered a lot of things now, which is great because as an actor, you're like, wow, that makes it so much easier. But certain things you still have to fight for. And so I fought for that role. I get it. And it's super excited. Then the day I'm leaving for Atlanta, I'm on the plane, and I had a full-blown panic attack because I was sure he made a mistake.
Oh.
He's confused who I am. And I'm going to get there, and he's going to go, oh, no, what? No. This isn't what I saw. I was just like, I convinced myself, which thankfully that wasn't the case. I was cast, and but it was, that's an A-list cast. So I was, I'll be honest, I was nervous. I was scared. They wanted us to do like a West Virginian accent. I don't really do accents. And they were giving us dialect coaches and everything. And I was, so when I met, Soderbergh the first time, exchange hellos and says, listen, I'm going to do my best on this accent. And he goes, oh, F that. I go, oh. And then I realized he just wants you to do some sort of Southern something, but it didn't have to be, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, that took so much pressure off me. So, and then we started shooting, and he was shooting natural lighting, which meant our days were nothing. Like, when you do a movie, 14-hour days are certainly nothing to be shocked at. TV could be 14-hour days. There were days I was home at 1 o'clock at the hotel because when you're doing natural lighting, you're not doing setups. And that's where all your time goes. The crew turning everything around and this and that. And Soderbergh has the camera on his shoulder. He shoots himself. If there's 3 cameras, he's on one of them. If there's 1 camera, he's the cameraman.
Wow.
It was incredible. So I ended up having the best time. And I think I was in Atlanta for like 3 weeks. And I had some downtime, so I got to play around in Atlanta. And I have a couple of good friends on The Walking Dead.
Oh, cool.
They were shooting there. So and for Walking Dead fans who know this, I'll do this quickly because some might not be. But at the beginning of last season, there was a Who's Dead kind of episode because the bad guy had done some whacking of people. So I go to this party with a bunch of them. And I thought, well, the ones that are here are going to be alive because they have to be, because why would they be here and whatever. So I was like, oh my God, I thought for sure you were dead. It was this whole big thing. The guy, I don't want to say in case, spoiler alert, but he was there for another reason, so he was killed. Because as I'm watching it the night of it, I'm like, oh, he hit him hard, but I know he lives because I was at a party with him. Whoa, his eye! Oh my God! No, he didn't
Denial.
live. So then I get these texts from Josh McDermitt and people on the show going, we got you. Oh, you got me. Because they kept it a secret. They did not reveal anything. Because I'm like, come on, I'm a fellow actor. You can tell me what's going on. Nothing.
I just realized you and Josh McDermitt kind of look like you could be related.
I worked with him once on Middleman. He did the film. And then I worked with him. I played his father.
Oh,
and he had to come say goodbye to me at my deathbed.
Oh.
Yeah. So, good eye. Good eye. My younger pictures, people tell me I look like Pratt. I don't see it at all.
I can see it.
But my younger pictures, I get Pratt a lot. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll play his father.
Yeah,
he's
I can
damn
see that.
old.
So we have a lot of people on the site on GigSalad that are aspiring creatives of some kind.
Sure.
So kind of your journey from the carpet commercial, which we talked about earlier, which was your first gig, to Logan Lucky. So so do you have any words of wisdom coming up trying to avoid pigeonholing and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. First of all, here's the good and the bad of it. If it's a passion, if it's in your heart that you have to do whatever it is that you have to do, well, you have to do it. And first, no career is easy. Being an accountant, it's not easy, and you still have to fight for jobs and keep your jobs. But acting in particular is an incredibly tough field because for every job, there's 1,000 people that want it, just easily 1,000 people. So you have to truly want it. And I always say, I knew the moment I wanted it. I stepped on stage at Second City in Chicago during class. It was my first class at Second City. Couldn't believe I was there, the stage where people like John Candy had stood and Jim Belushi and all this kind of stuff. So I was already in awe. And I stood in there and I got my first laugh. And it was just with my classmates. And I had this feeling of, I like this. And I knew right then, I will do this. I didn't know it would pay my bills. I just knew I would do this in some capacity while I worked. And then for many years, that's what I did. I worked all day downtown Chicago and did theater at night and improv and classes. So I would just tell you people, I always say, if it's in your heart, you have to give it a shot. You don't want those regrets later that you didn't try it. Not everyone's going to make it. Like not every accountant's going to be a good accountant or do it well. But you do have to stick with it. You have to give it a fair shot because it's rare that it happens overnight. So I did Chicago for a lot of years. And there would be articles on, when they would do things about parks, the cast. Well, where's Jim O'Hare been all these years? I'm like working my ass off.
Yeah.
I've been out here, and if you look at IMDb, you'll see I've been doing a lot, but you're not on an it show at the time, so you're just kind of doing it. So it's a crazy ride. I was lucky I had supportive family and friends, and I never had anybody telling me this is a bad idea. They might have thought it. I'm sure they thought it, because not every year is a great year.
Yeah.
You know, especially at the beginning. When I first moved to LA, I'd come out with a show that we had done in Chicago called Stumpy's Gang. And it was a play, and it had puppets and blood, and it was craziness. And it had become a cult show in Chicago. And we're like, well, maybe we could try that in LA, because we all wanted to go out for pilot season, because we had heard about pilot season for years. You know, that's what actors hear about. So we went out. Our plan was to run for 6 weeks, and then we'll stick around for pilot season. Well, we ran for almost 5 months, because it became a cult show in there too. And then I did pilot season. Well, I booked a pilot the first season, and the next day that I got the call for the pilot, I booked a film. And I thought, well, damn! Where have I been all of a sudden? Well, that ain't how it kept going. Because then all of a sudden, the pilot doesn't get picked up. The movie's a piece of crap. And, like, you know, I'm just saying, but at the time, I was like, oh, yeah, no, this is where I need to be. And again, luckily, I did still work, but it's not all here. You know, like, there's some years, I think, how did I survive? How did I? Because I'd never, since I landed in LA in 1994, August 3rd, 1994, I have never worked another job. Acting has paid my bills. Oh. But some years, I'd be like, how did I get through this year? And then other years, thankfully, are so much better. That helps those years that aren't as good. And then, you know, you land a show, and then things are better, because then it's consistent, you know. So I don't know. Everyone's journey is different. I just know that if it's in your heart, if you are passionate about being an actor, because Jeff, I don't know if we talk about Jeff, because on your show,
Jeff Houghton.
Jeff Houghton. Do people know Jeff?
Yeah,
name
Mr.
drop
Jeff.
Jeff.
I had
but
lunch
you have
with-
to promise to name drop Destin Harrison and Megan Frisbee
Yes,
on their
you got
show.
it. So I had lunch with Jeff today, and you know, we were talking about it, and if it's there, you have to give it a shot. He's done Hollywood, you know, he's tried, and you never know what's going to work for you. And now he's hosting this amazing show, and great things are happening. So everyone's path is going to be a little different, I think. But if you got to do it, you got to do it.
Yeah, that's good advice.
So a lot of people don't know, whenever we interviewed you the first time, we played a game called Ask Me Anything, which quickly went into such hilarious off-color territory.
I'm sure it was very dark and wrong.
It was, it was in all of the best ways, but unfortunately we couldn't air it because we had so much off-color content in there. It was so funny. I wish we could have.
See, Jim goes blue.
Let's release the unfiltered.
I know,
Yes,
we need to do a
that?
director's cut at some point.
director's cut.
For now, though, have you ever played Never Have I Ever?
I have played that game. I do know that game.
Well,
First time I ever played it was in Kansas City.
Oh, really?
2 years ago.
Kansas City, Missouri?
Kansas City. I did a play there, and I'm going back there in November for 3 months to do another play called Funny Money.
Wow,
Yes,
I love plays.
yes.
We might have to make a trip. We're not that
Oh,
far.
yeah,
we'll have to
like
go
3
see it.
hours
It's
away.
This theater is called the New Theater, 650 seats, sold out 8 shows a week. It's the
cool.
most amazing theater in the
So
world.
cool. All right,
Yeah.
Put it on the calendar.
Put it on
We're
the
going to
calendar,
see you.
people.
Take a note.
So, how we play Never Have I Ever on this show is obviously we don't have any alcohol here. Sorry, but our
Good night.
Boring.
our caveat is when we read the question, if you have done what's on the card, you have to tell the story.
Okay.
No matter how embarrassing or incriminating, you have to tell it. Sound
Okay.
good? Are you in?
Yeah, please.
All right.
I've revealed so much in my life. What the hell?
Let's get started here. Megan, you want to take a
Now, who came up with these questions?
The internet, mostly.
Oh, okay. So are you guys answering these questions too, or it's just about me?
Oh, it's
think they
mostly
came
about
about
you.
you.
But
Oh,
if you want to know,
damn.
we'll answer.
Okay.
We'll answer any that you want.
Okay.
Let's start with. I'll answer this one when you're done. Never have I ever won an Emmy.
Well,
I have, by the way.
wow.
That's a lie.
Oh, I was like, what?
Oh, it's a lie.
We worked together for 3 years and she never knew. It's on my
yes.
desk.
Well,
it's
there
on my
you
desk
go.
upstairs.
I did win an Emmy. Thank
You
you
won an
very
Oh,
much.
did you?
effing Emmy.
Yes, I did.
Did you? You won an
Oh, so
Emmy.
you didn't know this?
I did. That's why I put it in there.
Yes, I did win an Emmy for a guest spot on Bold and the Beautiful, and it made no sense, and I couldn't be happier about it. And when I was at the award show, I was so sure that I would never win that I had said to the driver, listen, I'm going to sneak out right after my category because I have friends who are doing a show that I want to go see. And Toluca Lake or somewhere. So that was the plan. He knew to be nearby because the minute my category was done, I was going to bowl. So Larry King is up there reading whatever, and they start showing the clips of the different people, and this guy crying, and I'm like, oh God, he's good, yeah, that's your winner. Then this one, I'm like, oh damn, that was good too. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough one between them. Then they show the woman from Star Trek who played Uhura, who did the first interracial kiss with William Shatner, and she's dying, saying goodbye to her son. I'm like, oh, walk her up. Then they show me, I'm like, oh, please. Larry King, and the winner is Jim O'Hare. And this is honest to God truth. All that went through my mind was, oh, that is so familiar. There was no excitement. I said, that is a familiar name.
Where have I heard that?
Where have I heard that? And then the woman next to me is going, I'm like, what? And then I realized I'm like, whoa, me! So I started walking up there, and I was so mad at myself because I'm telling you, I had prepared nothing. This was not going to happen. I have a driver who's going to take my ass to another gig. Anyway, but I won, and I couldn't go to the show because I had to stay there and do press and blah, blah, blah. And it was awesome. But never. But of course, then they cut to her in the feed. Or the woman who played Uhura, who's so awesome, and they're consoling her. I'm like, oh God, no, she's very old. I don't know, is she going to get another child? Oh God. But anyway, I'm thrilled. It was, yes, but I won an Emmy.
Yeah,
it's in my house.
My story's not that good. It was a small role in a film called It's a Wonderful Life. It was nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing the breakdown of a man here. Dustin is breaking down. That's what's happening here. It's heartbreaking, and yet we can all learn from it. So I think ultimately this is good. Yes. We're going to 5150 him, so he will be taken from here, and he'll be taken care of. Don't worry.
The help he needs.
Yes, I will be on the phone with Dr. Phil, and we will do an episode of Dr. Phil.
You guys can finish the interview with them.
Yes, my next have I or have I not?
Yeah, let's see here. Never have I ever been kicked out of a bar or restaurant.
I have never.
Hey.
Well.
All right.
I have never been kicked out. I have never been in a bar fight. No, that's a lie.
Oh.
No college. No, it wasn't. I don't even know if I would call it a fight as much as me helping a friend who was getting, kind of beat up. I was more pulling people. I don't know that I was actually
bar tussle.
More of a tussle. I would go with tussle. But no, I don't think I've ever been asked to leave.
I don't think I have either.
I'm sure it's been thought about.
Mm-hmm. I've kicked people out as a bartender, but.
Where do you bartend? Free drinks? What's going on?
No, it's over now.
Oh, damn.
It was years ago.
I've been kicked out before, but it was only because it was like, can I see your ID? No. There's the door.
Yeah, no, and I've always looked older, so I never worried about being carded.
Mm-hmm.
No, I have never been rejected at a bar and or restaurant.
I've been rejected.
Now, by women, my whole life.
That's what I was going to say.
But a bar and restaurants, no.
No stranger to rejection.
Rejection I'm all about, yes.
Yeah, just not by the staff. The staff love me. The patrons not so much.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, never have I ever kissed Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, I have kissed Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, have you?
Some people, no. First of all, there's
you?
kissing. Like there's TV kissing and movie kissing.
Oh no, this was like
full on.
This was a callback to your previous career.
Exactly. This was a callback. We full on swapped genetics. We had, and let me tell you, she said to me during the break, we were doing Seth Meyers, his rap. He did an hour-long wrap-up show of all of us. It was amazing.
If you haven't seen this, pause this, YouTube it, and come back.
Me making out with Aubrey Plaza.
Not with your mom in the room.
Yes. Aubrey says to me, all we knew we were doing that whole hour was just going to talk about the show, and at the end, Pratt's going to play guitar, and we're going to sing Bye Bye Little Sebastian. So that's all we really know. So we do the show, and at the end of the show, before the final break, Aubrey leans over and goes, do you want to make out during the song? Well, of course. So, the only one who knew was Adam Scott. He was sitting between us. And
oh, poor Adam.
Right. Now, I had learned from Rob Lowe years ago. Here's how you do it. Because I said, Rob's been out with everybody. Literally everybody.
Yeah.
So he said, well, it's always up to the woman. I don't get the leading man role, so I don't get this opportunity. They set the tone. So when you go in, if their mouth is closed, your mouth is closed. If it's open a little, you can open a little, and it goes down. They put your tongue in, Well, we started, and she had her tongue in my mouth in 2 seconds. I'm like, let's do this. Let's do this. But the best part, if you're going to go Google it or YouTube it, watch the reaction of the cast. Because nobody knew. And Retta and Aziz in particular. And Pratt didn't know what he's playing guitar in front of us.
Yeah.
He don't have a clue. Everyone's dying laughing, and he's just playing guitar, and we are just all over each other. And it's
so
because
funny.
Aubrey's so damn funny.
So
she knows
funny,
it's not
man.
funny to make out with Pratt or Adam. Get the fat old guy. That's funny. That's funny stuff.
Did you guys 90-10? Like from that Will Smith movie Hitch? You go 90, she goes 10? Or did you just go the whole 100?
100.
100%?
100%. Both of us. Yeah. Then
200%.
backstage, 69. We're getting into numbers. If you want to talk numbers, yeah. He
And
brought it
that's
up,
all the
people.
time
Not
we
me.
have for
He
you.
brought it up. And actually, Decoding Fanning was there for some reason. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but
she's-
she happened to be in the green room.
She's
She
still in
jumped
therapy.
When we walked out, she was in the green room like, good for you. It's like, yeah, good for me.
That's the best reaction. Good for you.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
High five. Let's do one more, Megan.
Okay, we'll do one more. I'm cherry picking here. I have never had a near-death experience.
Ooh, I kind of did last year.
Kinda almost died. No big deal.
I don't know how near death. I don't know what I was told and wasn't told, but I ended up I was promoting Middleman, and I was all over the country and all over in different weather zones and blah, blah, blah. I got very, very, very sick. Ended up in the hospital with pneumonia. And an infectious disease doctor came in. I go, what is going on? He goes, you are very sick. What? Like, I knew I had pneumonia, but people get that. And anyway, it turned out it was hardcore pneumonia, that they thought I had something even crazier. So I don't know. But I was in the hospital for a week, which is a lot nowadays. It seems like they get you in and out. I don't know. That's the sickest I've been.
Did your life flash before your eyes?
It did. And it was
We'll
me
count it.
and you guys.
Aw.
It was weird.
That's precious.
It was just the three of us.
Making out.
Was this
Seth
backstage?
Meyers.
It was...
Seth Meyers.
It was, yes. It
Was
was.
Dakota
oh, wait,
Fanning
Dakota
there?
Fanning was there,
She
too.
was there.
And she just looked at the three of us and said, good for you. Good for you. Yeah. No, I had none of this. I don't know if that's considered near death. I don't know.
Sure, I'll count it.
But no, I've never been, like, thankfully, in a terrible car accident, or I've been in a car accident, but nothing life-threatening. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
But
we'll count
maybe
it.
that
We'll
was
take
near death. I don't know.
it. Yeah, that is.
So as we wrap up here,
Yeah.
how can our audience members keep up with you?
Oh gosh, you can try if you can. Facebook,
Humper.com or Humper.
Humper, Humper.com.
Either way, I barely even know.
Actually, Pumper would have been better. I like that. It's better. Humper.
It was first Humper and then changed to Pumper.
Yeah,
and then
after
Thumper,
after a lot of
and
the
then-
reviews came out, and then let's just say the reviews kept coming. Anyway, see, and if you're too young to not get it, I didn't offend anybody on that one, and yet I got to go a little blue.
we should wrap it up.
Yeah, and then of course at Jim O'Hare, and O'Hare is Oheir. That's Twitter, and I don't do Instagram. I don't understand Snapchat, and you young people come up to me all the time, and we do them. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know they're like, "Can we do a Snapchat?" And I just agree.
Do you
So
get a little dog ear or a... Did
I
it do
don't-
some
Snapchat
weird
filters?
things to you?
I don't know. Maybe that happens. I don't do it. I don't know. No, and I'm tech savvy with my little world. Like I have my MacBook, and I have, of course, my phones, but I don't. Like, I know I'm supposed to have an Instagram. I'm told every day by the people that rep me, and it just seems like a lot of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And so I don't. And Twitter's enough.
Yeah.
You do you, man.
I do me. Twice yesterday. Hello, everybody! midnight.
Yeah, that's all the time we have. Jim O'Hara, thanks so much for
This is
joining
great,
us
you guys.
again.
Thank you.
So great having you.
So if I'm here a third time, I will have broken all
the
records.
And we'll get you a beer the next time.
Wow. Yeah, the heroin was nice. But
We'll
you're-
up the ante.
Up the ante.
Yep.
Thank you,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you.
Thanks so much
Super
for having us.
fun.